All right, Guardians fall 6-3 against Tigers. What are you gonna do? That it sucks, but we know one thing about baseball, and it's that one person can't carry you to success. This isn't football where a player like Patrick Mahomes or a coach like Mike Tomlin can carry a team to a winning record or playoff success. Jose Ramirez can't do everything for this team. Jose Ramirez is one player in a lineup, and I know I've talked trash about how he's there every game, but he's not going to be, he's not going to get hit every time he's up to bat. He's going to make mistakes. He's human. And he made a mistake today, but at that point the game was basically over. I don't think Manzardo would have done anything there anyways, but it just sucks. The Tigers were definitely due for something like this to happen. I said it. I think I said it in my video, actually. The Tigers are due. They're going to hit at least one home run in this game, and that's exactly what they did. And that just opened the floodgates. And it honestly, it felt like, it felt like game one of the series last year. It felt like that game where the Guardians just came out, but instead of it obviously being in the first inning, it was, in the late innings. I don't know which one it was. I think it was maybe the 6th or the 7th. But, it just felt like, the Tigers figured something out with either it was the pitcher or they just got hot right they all got hot at the same time and fed off of each other's momentum. And they buried us. And we don't. This is a team that does not score runs. They don't. If the Guardians are going to beat you, they're going to beat you 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, those kind of games like that. And they had those games. I mean, you had Terrence Scoobel. The Terrence Scoobel game, you only lost by a run. And I will always say that is the best. The Tigers' best punch in this series was their first. And then they got hot in game 3. So you got to finish them off. You got to survive Scoobel. You have to. And when he's gone, you got to take advantage of that. And I know last year we hit the grand slam off of Scoobel and won the game while Scoobel was still on the mound. And we won the game to basically flip momentum in the regular season against the Tigers, against Scoobel. But that's not going to happen consistently. Example, game 1. Example, game 2 of last year's series where Scoobel shut us down and the Tigers escaped. And they did the exact same thing in game 1 this year, and that turned out to be the difference. Because the Tigers were due for a game where their offense was going to explode. And it sucked, especially with it being at home once again. Another elimination game in Cleveland that you lose. And this series, I shouldn't say this series, this rivalry is now once again a rivalry. This isn't, before the Tigers won this series today, it felt like the Ohio State-Michigan series in football from, 2011 to the 20 teens. It felt like that, where no matter what Michigan did, no matter what coach Michigan had on the sidelines, no matter what players were on the field, Ohio State just had Michigan's number. And then it was, and there was really nothing Michigan could do about it. Now, obviously, that has now flipped, and Ohio State now is the team that no matter who's on the sideline, I shouldn't say that because it's only Ryan Day on the sideline, but you get what I mean. Ohio State can have a national championship winning team and still can't beat Michigan at home. But this game, the Tigers and Guardians games now, it's once again a rivalry. The Tigers now lead the all-time series, which I saw that was the graphic during the game. It was really cool. that the Tigers now lead the all-time series between the Guardians and the slash Indians and the Detroit Tigers by 1 game. And that was the game that they just won. It was tied coming into this game. So this series all time have been extremely, extremely even. And now the Tigers lead it by 1. So, great back and forth. And now the Guardians don't have the mental advantage against Detroit anymore. That was just completely erased. The Tigers are going to go to Seattle in a few days, and they're going to play the Mariners. And for my sake, I hope Josh Naylor completely just dog walks him, to be completely honest. But it's disappointing. It's definitely disappointing. The fact that you were there, you had the greatest comeback for a division in MLB history. Shouldn't say greatest, but you get what I'm saying. The largest, I should say, the largest comeback for a division title in MLB history. And yet again, it feels like, when the Indians in the Francisco Lindor in that year, I think it was 2017, might have been 2017, 2018. I don't know what year, I don't remember what year it was, but they broke the longest regular season winning streak and then won their division, I believe might have gotten a first round bye and then played the Yankees and then had a 2-0 series lead and then blew 3 straight games. It kind of feels like that, where the Guardians basically emptied the gas tank in the regular season to make history and then had nothing left for the playoffs. Kind of feels like that. I definitely feel a little bit better that we didn't lose the Yankees this year. That's definitely a plus. But, of course, you want to win the World Series every year. And I'll also be the first one to say this. I don't watch regular season baseball that much. Besides, if the Guardians are on national TV on ESPN or Fox or whatever it is. Or if I go to a game. But I'll never go out of my way to watch regular season baseball on a local channel. I'm not going to pay for MLB TV or anything like that. Just the same thing if with basketball. On this channel, you're never going to see me cover regular season Cavs games. Apart from maybe a one-off where I actually watch the game. But playoff Cavs, I shouldn't even say probably, I'll be covering that on the channel and giving you my post-game reactions. And these are all real, raw. They aren't scripted. I'm just grabbing my phone and recording myself. So, it's a little sad. I definitely am not mad about it. You're not going to see me raging at all. It's a great season. The Guardians should have been honestly, they should have been competing for last place in this division this year. Instead, we won the division. The Tigers should have cakewalked to a division win for the first time in probably over 10 years at this point, right? Because the Guardians have been, they made the World Series in 2016. And by that point, the Tigers, were their dynasty, or not dynasty, their championship window was basically closed, if not on the verge of closing that year. And I don't remember. I don't even know the last time the Tigers actually won the Central. I know the Guardians have, of course. The Twins, I think, won it one year when we choked it away. But anyways, sad day to be a Guardians fan. Not mad at all about I'm a little mad about the ending of the game and how we really couldn't keep it close. But honestly, I can't help myself but imagining, and this is no fault of Terrence Skubal or anything like that. I can't help myself but imagine what this series would have been like if David Fry was in there, and even Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas was out for the rest of the season with an injury. And it just, I can't help myself in imagining how this series would have gone differently if we had those guys, because those were, If it wasn't Jose or Stephen Kwan last year hitting and making plays, it was Lane Thomas and David Fry. Naylor had I think a home run in like the Yankees game, but you get my point. I can't imagine how this series would have turned out if those two were healthy and performing. You know what I mean? Stephen Kwan was basically a non-factor for the majority of this series. He had a hit late in this game, and he had a hit to blow the doors open yesterday. But he was basically a non-factor. Ramirez with a really bad decision in hindsight to run to second base to kill the comeback today. And I get why he was doing it. I'm not going to say, oh, he made a horrible decision. I mean, it was a bad decision in hindsight. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, why are you doing that? No, we needed the comeback. We were still down by 3 runs at that point. And putting him in scoring position might have helped him. Or might have helped the team, rather, to make this comeback. And I think Manzardo wouldn't have done anything regardless. But it sucks. We'll be back next year. Don't worry about that. The team's future looks very bright. Jose Ramirez isn't going anywhere anytime soon. But man, it sucks that to see playoff baseball, which is, in my opinion, one of the best environments ever, especially when your team is in it and you're excited about it and you're at home. I will stand by that Cleveland has one of the best playoff environments in baseball. I mean, for God's sakes, we have the loudest decibel recording ever in a baseball game. And that came in a playoff game. Oh, I miss Frankie so much. But, yep, that's probably going to do it for the rest of this year for baseball content. I will be back with baseball if anyone wants to watch these. I don't even know. But I guess we'll see you next October. But remember one thing. It's still Cleveland or nowhere.